Hello and welcome to the TT Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk to one person from the world of the TT racers to discuss their lives, their journeys, their ambitions and their relationship with the greatest motorsporting event in the world. I'm Chris Pritchard and with me, Steve Plater. Steve, how are we doing?
Pretty good. Yep, looking forward to it all. Excited really to listen to this man.
Hey, as well, we're so close to the TT as well. I can smell the fumes. We're that close. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because this man has lived and breathed the TT for a long time, obviously visiting as a kid. He must have seen his dad growing up.
Yeah, for many moons, obviously from good stock, even though it'd be three wheels. But it's going to be interesting to see what he's got to say.
Before we get on, do you think he's capable of taking the senior TT victory this year?
I would say yes.
Yeah, me too. Let's get him on. Dean Harrison. Our guest for today's episode of the TT Podcast is reigning senior TT champion Dean Harrison. He made his debut at the TT back in 2011, straight into the toughest bike race in the world on a bike he bought for $4,500 and just a few years after he'd started racing. What's come since then are 3 TT race wins and 16 podiums. And alongside rival Peter Hickman, he's taken the sport of road racing to new heights, lapping at the TT at speeds unimaginable just a few years ago. How has he done it and what makes him so fast? Well, I think it's a Yorkshire in him, but we're going to find out now. Dean Harrison, welcome to the podcast. You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you very much.
Good. What makes you so fast?
Mate, if I had the answer to that, I'd be able to share it. I ain't got a clue to it, I don't know. Just
but
team, to be fair.
Would you share it?
Yeah, I would when I was Steve's age.
Yeah, when you've done. You don't want to share it now. So the first question we ask the riders when they come on this podcast is, we want to take you back to the start line. You've just rolled through the little gantry. You've rolled up. You've got that hand clasped on your shoulder. You're waiting for that flag to drop. You're waiting for that tap on the shoulder. What's going through your mind at that moment?
I mean, my mind almost changes. You know, like on the start line, you have the like rider only point barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's only the rider past. Sort of when you be this side of it, you're almost really nervous. Once I go past the point of where it's rider only and the guy does put the hand on his shoulder, you're almost becoming like I almost get fixated on the top of braille.
Yeah.
And just focus on that ahead and almost think what I need to do and what are a bit of a plan idea and everything's about my bike and checking. I always feel my brake lever, make sure it's fine, and just little things like that and get ready to go, really.
So you're already into race mode then?
Yeah, once you go past the rider only point, you almost know now that you're past the point of no return.
Yeah, I was watching the race, the senior race 2019, and you almost get that sense that is the case, that you roll up there and you're already bang, you're ready to do the job. Whereas a lot of people have come in and said, until I get that tap on that shoulder, until that clutch is released, I'm nervous as hell. Yeah,
no, you are nervous, yeah, definitely. And then once you do get the tap on the shoulder and you set off and your nerves are gone, then it's just a matter of, it's almost, it's filled full of, it's fun, innit? You enjoy yourself, you're almost buzzing almost. Once you set off and you get to top of braille, you just get the head down and aim for the bottom.
Well, you won't be there doing it if it wasn't fun, right?
No, yeah, exactly. It's too dangerous not to be fun.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
So what's your first target? Obviously your first thought from leaving the line. What's your first kind of concentration point?
Get tucked in, head down, and then just keep gears out as smooth as you can and crack on.
And you're straight up to speed?
Yeah, straight up to speed, yeah. So I'm thinking about Quarter Bridge.
Yeah?
Yep.
See, my worst part of the course was Bray Hill.
What?
So all I was thinking was, flipping it, we've got to try and get down there fast now and
it's
look
one of my favourite.
Really?
Oh, on a 600, if coming from Governor's Bridge down Braille is one of the best things ever. Because I probably was a watch there as a kid, and that is like, when everyone says now, if you're going to go to the island for the first time, where do you want to go watch? First time, go to Braille. Straight off the boat, 5 minutes up the road, blows your mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely blows your mind. And that's just stuck in my head. So I can almost envisage, because I know what it's like to watch, I can envisage both sides of the fence, if that makes sense. And as a kid, you'd sort of bury yourself and head somewhere, and you could hear the bike coming out of Governor's Bridge, you'd hear him shut off on the way, and you just hear it singing the whole way down. And there's no better thing than actually riding it. Because the 600, you don't need to let go of the throttle from Governor's Bridge all the way till you get to your braking point at Quarter Bridge.
What, it's flat out?
Yeah. On a 600, you don't need to shut the throttle in.
Superbike's the same, pretty much.
Yeah, it's only a little tiny, maybe a roll at the top just to load the front to get to turn, and then you're back on again.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That answers a few questions in all fairness, because obviously you're fastest on the first two splits. You're always quick off the mark, and whereas other riders, they'll try and settle into the race and not even push really to get to Union Mills to make sure everything's warm. But
Yeah, no, I'm the same. You've got to be steady sort of until you've got to Union Mills because the tyres aren't scrubbing it. It's not like people say about riding styles and the way you attack things. It is different to short circuit because you don't push the front as much. Like the front tyre almost looks polished. Whereas at a short circuit, it's nothing like that. So you've just got to have that bit of respect for the bike just to get everything up to temperature and things like that until you've got, like I said, out of Union Mills and then away you go. But I'm just a fan of Braille then, I suppose.
That's blown my mind that you will be flat out down there. I'm shutting off in car when I'm driving down.
I've seen you driving.
Anyway, let's go back to that moment where you are a kid and you sat at Bray Hill. What's taken you over there in the first place?
I've been down man racing sidecars.
Yeah.
I've been there every year since '93.
Yeah.
So from when I fall, the only years I've missed is foot and mouth and COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never. Apart from that, I've always been every year to watch a bit of various places.
So like you said, your dad raced the sidecars there.
Yeah.
Still races it.
Yeah, it's still there again this year. We're out at Croft at the weekend in the first round of the British Championship, the F2. So he's still doing that, and I've just sort of grown up around the sidecar paddock, sort of. And that's it, really. And I've just, when I were in the Isle of Man, I would always think, right, where am I going to go watch today? And you'd sort of get your push bike out, go somewhere, watch here, watch there, watch anywhere you could, really.
Unbelievable.
I'd jump in someone's car, where you going? Oh, we're going to go here today. Right, let's get in the car, we'll go there.
You have, sorry, Chris.
That's all right.
You have dabbled at sidecars with your good mate Lee Johnson on
Yeah, no, we did have
on the chair.
I've actually raced more than that. I'd actually have my own sidecar. It's something I probably will do. But
Really?
But I'm not old enough yet. All the sidecar lads are all like my dad's
I need
age.
your mirror.
But yeah, no. So I will do. I've raced a few times a sidecar. I passengered as well, so I've done a little bit.
But it doesn't tickle your fancy to get doing it now. You want to stick to the.
You can't do everything.
No, of course not.
You can't spread yourself too thin, and I'm still enjoying me big bike racing. And I've always said, once I stop enjoying it, I won't do it. It's too dangerous to do if you're not enjoying myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still reasonably competitive. I'll just keep going until I've sort of had enough, and then I'll probably get a stabiliser.
Reasonably competitive.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Reasonably competitive.
Yeah, well, there's so many people out there that are fast now. As long as you're in, don't get me wrong, everyone wants to win, but I think going to the Isle of Man over confidence almost not a good thing.
Yeah.
I think you need to go to the Isle of Man in the mindset you do want to win, obviously, because everyone wants to win, don't they? But you just need that. You need a bit of luck on the day. You need to be riding right. The bike's got to be right. Your team's got to be right. There's so many little factors in there that make everything, the jigsaw puzzle almost come together. Because it's not just a race; it's an endurance race.
Mm-hmm.
You're riding by yourself. The bike's getting. You can't describe how much hammer the bike gets over 6 laps going around that place. There's nowhere I can think. Can you think of anywhere? You're winning yourself. You know it's like it's hard to explain. You look at the bike after, you think stuff breaks that you'd never even think could break.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just need a bit of element of luck on your side and concentrate on the podium. I think Cameron Donald once said a really good thing. He goes, if you concentrate on the podium, the win will take care of itself. And everyone's like, I don't get that, but I almost do get it in a way.
No, it's a good point, and obviously, but I think from that side as well, because you're more relaxed, and that brings the best out in any rider.
Yeah, well, you got to be relaxed at the element. Do you know what, right? When I get there, I just go, I'm on holiday again. Because I've been that many times, right? I get there and I'm always. I even going to the Southern 100. I like racing there as well. Because obviously I did Irish national racing. I did road racing before I went short circuit racing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do short circuit racing until I rode for the team I'm with now. Last year was my first ever season of BSB. Apart from that, I'd just done a couple of rounds. Going to do a road race around maybe in a season. I might have done 3 or 4 max.
Yeah.
But that's since I rode for Silicone. When I went, was Silicone, it's now Dow. But I wouldn't have even done that before. I'd have just done a Scarborough, Cookstown, or I'd just done things like that. It's not sort of in that since the last sort of year or two I've done a bit of short circuit racing.
So was it ever in your mind to go short circuit racing? Tell us a story of how you got into racing.
I never had any money. My dad's a postman and my mum's a dinner lady.
Yeah.
What do you know what I mean? I'm a car mechanic.
Yeah.
You go to, like, at the weekend, I rode the bike, got wrote off. It's worth nearly half my house. Do you get what I mean? You need to be realistic of what you can and can't afford.
So
for example, I bought a $4,500 I won off eBay and went to Isle of Man.
So
don't get me wrong, I made sure it mechanically sound because I'm a mechanic myself. But what more you can only, as I always say, you can only piss with the cock you've got.
I mean, yeah, that is an expression.
Do you know what I mean? So I just started from there, really.
So you didn't start till, you've not gone through the
I didn't start
schoolboy
racing till
motocrossing and
18, 19. I
Yeah?
started racing. No, I didn't race motocross, didn't race mini bikes, didn't race.
Did you want to go racing though?
I'd love to go racing.
It was always there.
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah, I've been watching it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it's the cost of doing it. Like even my dad. My dad didn't barely do a lot of racing. He literally did a Scarborough, maybe a Cadwell, and then he'd go Isle of Man.
Yeah.
There'd be like 3 or 4 meetings a year, maybe. He didn't want doing British Championships here and this and that and everything and racing every weekend. It was literally maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Go get your signature and that'd be about it. But when my old man raced, you didn't even need a signature. You could just turn up. Do you know what I
Pay
mean?
your money and go.
Yeah, you just turn up with your bike. Exactly, it was different. Everything. Only in the last few years has it become quite difficult to get your licences and things have become more scrutinised.
And is that because obviously the focus was on your dad, Comrade racing, and obviously being busy with the TT and everything else, that there was obviously no spare money for you to go motocrossing or anything?
Yeah, no, I don't get me wrong. I did have a motocross bike as a kid or a field bike, but I didn't go to like proper motocross tracks and we'd go to a quarry up road.
Yeah, and just
Do you know what I mean? You just go to a quarry and have a thrash round. My brother had an Honda 90 and you'd go to woods and just do lad stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Who didn't have an Honda 90 back in the day?
Exactly.
I've still got one.
That's what you
Exactly.
came here on.
That's what I mean. So people you grow up different. That's the way life takes you.
Yeah, but the road racing route, that was because of the lack of funding. And
No. The reason the road racing thing is because I've just grown up around road racing.
All right.
When you
Yeah,
grow
yeah.
up around something, you just naturally see it, and you get to like 40 and think, oh, I'd love to have a go at this, and you can only make happen with what money you've got available,
Yeah.
and then I went from there. To be honest, a lot of it, my first TT mainly happened because Ian Bell. Ian Bell.
Yeah.
He really good friend of my dad's, family friend. He's raced sidecars with my dad for years and years and years. He once sponsored a lad in Super Stock 6. I don't know the lad's name. He kept smashing it up. Yeah, and he went, I'm sick of doing this now. So anyway, he rebuilt the bike, put it in the showroom, and I went about going to the TT and doing, because I did Scarborough at the time, and Ian were a big fan of Scarborough. And he goes, oh, right, you can ride this at Scarborough if you want. I went, oh, perfect. So I sort of rode that and I saw, can I go do TT on it? And he went, yeah, right. And so I had a Super Stock 6 that he'd sort of lent me, and then the CBR 600 I sold and then bought 1,000. And I'd never even rode 1,000. I did Scarborough and went down Braille. That was my 1,000cc career.
Really?
Yeah, I had an R1. I had a 2007 R1. I bought it from, I can't remember where I bought it from, so I don't know where. It wasn't far from here, I don't think. I did a Scarborough on it, yeah. I went to Scarborough and then I followed Milky Quail around on my newcomer's lap.
How was it?
I thought it was great. Just rode around. You ride a bike to where you feel comfortable, don't you? I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I just ride my bike.
Yeah, I guess. And what about your dad? Was he?
He was
against-
racing as well.
He didn't try and stop you. He didn't say, "Come on, son, this is a bit dangerous."
No. He said, my old man always says to me, I'll never tell you what to do, I can only advise you.
Yeah.
So I just shared me on it. I didn't even have a van. I had nothing. I didn't have a van. I put my bikes in my granddad's van, he took them over, and I just shared my dad's on and my mum made tea.
Brilliant.
That's it.
Talking to your granddad used to race as well.
Yeah, he stopped about 72, I think he stopped me on sidecars, yeah. I got to race sidecars,
Same
yeah.
with your dad, sidecars.
Yeah, both did sidecars, yeah.
All right, so you've got to keep the family tradition going.
I'll have to keep going at some point, yeah. My brother's raced as well. My brother did the TT and the Manx and things like that. He's stopped now, though, to be fair. He's 4 years older than me, though, is my brother.
So, Dean, is there any pressure from home? You know, of course, it's a massive racing family. Dad's on the sidecar, you're on the solos. What about Mum? It must be tough for her to deal with all those nerves.
Yeah, I feel sorry for my mum, to be honest. Yeah, she does get a bit, especially when they're all three of us. Obviously at TT before, there's been me, my brother and my dad all racing the same week, and me and brother have been in the same race, where my brother's he's took a back step now, so that's one of us down. And there's me and my dad still going, no, I do feel for her a bit. She doesn't say a lot, to be fair.
She needs to get a
You
bike.
can see it in her face, though.
She needs to get a bike and get doing it, and then she'll probably just calm down a
She
little
has
bit.
passengers with my dad at the TT for a lap, like you did, yeah. Yeah,
How did she find it?
Yeah, she loved it. She was really good, to be fair. She's done their sprints with him before and things like that, so yeah.
Does that make it worse, though, knowing what you guys are going through, or not?
I don't know. I don't know, really. I don't like watching my old man. What I tend to do is I look at the time he's been out on track, and I almost feel like I can envisage whereabouts he is on track with the time that's taken.
Yeah.
Have you passenger Comrade?
Yeah.
You have, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, passing my dad before, yeah.
So when you're watching him, what are your nerves like? Are you more nervous watching him than you are racing yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Do you get nervous for him?
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, of course you get nervous, yeah. But like I say, I always try and think whereabouts he'll be on the track with the amount of time he's been gone.
Yeah.
Quite a few times, you both had podiums at the TT the same year. Does it become a competition?
Yeah, we both. Well, I think we were the first ever family to win the TT in the same year. Because in 2014, I won and my dad won the same week. Which was nice, really. Yeah. He just says to me, I won before you. I says, yeah, but it took you 25 years. Do you know what I mean? But no, it was good fun, yeah.
So you were only 22 when you had your first TT?
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
So talk about your first TT experience, your first races. How was it?
Honestly, overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I couldn't. The 600, like say, because it were quite a modernish bike, like the newest bike I'd ever ridden. It just never missed a beat. The Ian Bell bike was just absolutely spot on. I rode around for 2 weeks on it, sunshine, and absolutely loved it. The R1 gearbox went on that, but again, I didn't really know a lot about it. I was 123 on it, I think, my first time there. I'd never ridden 1,000 before, really. I just had a roll around Scarborough on it, so it went all right. I did just short of 120 on my 600, a stock 6 first time there, in 2011 it had been. And I think I finished 10 for 11th in Super Sport race on it, so it went all right.
You don't appear to be a competitive guy, even though clearly you are because you're winning senior TT races. It doesn't seem that you would have gone with the intention of going there to race and win. It looks like you just wanted to go there and have fun.
I did.
That was it?
I didn't. Well, I'd done seasons of Irish national racing and bodged about with that as you do, and did I do the Southern before I went? I can't remember if I did the Southern. I'd never even done the North West or the Ulster Grand Prix before going to the Isle of Man. I just turned up at the Isle of Man.
Because a lot of people go to the Isle of Man, especially as newcomers, and they're like, I want to be the fastest newcomer, I want to do this, I want to do that. But
no, there were only Simon Andrews. He was a little bit quicker than me the first time then. I think he rode for Paul Schuster at Ice Valley the first time he went. And he was the only newcomer that were a little bit quicker than me. And then the following year after that, after my first year, I actually rode for Ice Valley. Because Paul Schuster says, because I did all right. With obviously the results I did as a newcomer, he saw you need a new bike. So he sort of, he lent me a brand new BM. And then I did my first Northwest with him. But I never rode the bike. I just turned up at the Northwest and he pissed it down for a week. And he's like, you know what the Northwest can be like. It can be one or the other. You know what I mean? It was like, I didn't know what to expect. So I got on this BM. Never even rode the thing. And I went back over to Ian Bell, Yamaha again. He'd built as a new bike though. He built as a better bike. And then we sort of did that. I think I finished, we're a 9th in the Superbike, I think, the following year.
So what was your technique of learning the circuit back in the day?
I just rode around the car.
That was it?
Yeah, I had a 50cc scooter when I was 16, and I did loads of laps when I was a kid.
How comparable is a 50cc scooter to a 1,000cc going down Bray Hill?
It's not too far.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just rode around on my scooter. When we were 16, I had a scooter, you see. So you take scooter over, don't you? And my old mum raced, so I used to ride around doing laps on that.
Brilliant.
And that's how I'd learned it from growing up.
So you had a rough idea when you got on the bike for the first time with the TT?
I'd have said my track knowledge with going for that many years were probably better than most unless you live there. Because I'd been around in the car, various places. It's like when you get around something for so long, you become comfortable around it and things like that. I think that could be a contributing factor.
That's the reason I asked the question, because again, a lot of people that go to the TT now, they're playing games, they're watching on boards, but you spent it just subconsciously just taking it all in without even kind of realising it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. So it becomes, don't get me wrong, I didn't learn all of it, but you learn a good chunk of it. But everyone now is all stressed, aren't they? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and let's just ride your bike, just do your thing. You know what I mean? There's too much talking, isn't there?
So what point did it start getting competitive? You're like, all right, I can win something here, I can do something serious here.
I did like 126 the second time there on a 2012 BM, and like Simon had just gone to ride for the factory Honda team, and like the first half a lap before he crashed, I actually beaten him. And I thought, well, he's meant to be like some BSB sort of hero at the time, and I'd never even been to a BSB race. You know what I mean? I'd never even been. I didn't know about it really. I was like, right, he's not. Well, if he's doing that and I did that, I don't. Mate, honestly, I just rode my bike. I just got my bike and rode it. I just rode around. I thought, as long as I just ride it where I feel comfortable. I thought I feel comfortable doing this, and I just carried on. But that year the senior were cancelled, which we were a bit upset about.
Yeah.
So I missed my sort of second bite at the cherry.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
So first podium in 2013.
Yeah, on the Super Twin.
Again, how does it feel? Because, like you're saying,
I'm old. I forgot. So many years ago, I banged on Edson's now.
You just ride your bike.
Yeah, I was doing I did the Southern, I think, then, and I did that Southern and Scarborough really. What bike was on my first podium? I think it were a Stuart Smith twin. I think it was, wasn't it? I can't remember.
You tell me, you were riding it.
I don't know. Forgot. I don't know what it was.
Not RC Express.
No, that's what I won on.
That's what you won on, yeah. In
That
14.
yeah. I remember
That's
winning
right,
on
yeah.
that.
All
I
right.
built that myself in shed.
Well, let's talk about it then. So 2014 first TT win. You go from a podium in 2013. You take a Superstock podium in 2014.
Yeah, in 14 I
And
was
your first
second in the
win.
Super Stock, and I won on the Super Twin. Yeah, and that's yeah.
Well, you see, kind of those days you were pretty much labelled really, or spoken about, spoken about as a small CC, small bike specialist.
Yeah, but I just
And then
finished second in Superstock race.
very quickly you jumped up to be very fast on the big bikes, on the thousands.
Yeah, but I'd never ridden one. My 1000cc experience were Scarborough to Isle of Man, and then, you know, it's not probably until last year my riding style's changed, of hanging off a bike and doing what people do.
Mm-hmm.
I've got on my bike and you sort of flow through it. The riding style of road racing to short circuit's different. You almost flow through the corners and you're carrying your speed, and that's the sort of riding I did with doing road racing. And then you get
momentum.
Yeah, momentum. It's all about momentum, straight line speed. You sort of learn that, and it just evolves from there. I remember in 130 first time in 20. What year was that? I mean, 14. Yeah, 2014. I did my first 130 mile an hour lap. That was good. I brought down though. Grew Sulby Bridge. Put gearbox out of the back. Went down. Honestly, I don't know why. It just failed. Yeah.
So where are you finding your speed to go from 126, 127 up to 130, and then obviously we'll talk about 135 later. But like, can you notice the difference in speed? Are you noticing? Is it the bike? Is it down to you and your track knowledge?
It's everything. Like I said a minute ago, it's the team, the bike, the right parts. Obviously, me learning the track, and there's not just one factor. I don't think at the TT or even any racing. Whether it sounds daft, like you're managing team now, you're doing things now that people don't realise have a contributing factor to making things. You put in the cog in, one of the cogs in the.
You're just the cherry on top on race day.
Yeah, I don't mean it sounds daft, but then without the rider, no, what happens, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It's a bit like that. There's people don't see what goes in behind the scenes.
What sort of a person are you? You know, back in the pit box. You know, because obviously people are very different. Riders, competitors. You know, you demanding things when you're saying about all those little pieces of the puzzle to make to get the trophy. You know, do you push for that, or do you? It sounds like you just throw your leg over the bike and ride it, and then.
That's right. I ride. I do.
Ride it the best you can.
I ride to my best I can on the day with what I've got underneath me. I think anyway. I'll try my best every time you ride your bike, don't you?
So you laid back. You come back in. You say this isn't working. That ain't working. It's
Screaming
and shouting.
I do understand how a lot of it works.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I do anyway. And I do put my 10 pence within a lot and sort of run through things, and I stand back a lot and I observe. I think I'm a bit of an observer. I like to see what other people are doing, what he's got, and what you've got, and that's, you need that. You think, well, if someone's got X, Y, Z and you've got A, B, C, you see the difference, and you think, well, on today I think that this is probably the best I can do, and I think that's important to coming back the next day.
Yeah.
You race the BSB series to keep yourself sharp, and obviously, it
annoys me that, because I'd want to do better at that, because it doesn't matter whether I'm racing a road race or I'm a BSB. It's like at the weekend, you look at the times before I did a 53.8 lap record with a 53.3. Thought, I know it's on his short track. You like Sykes is in a 53.6. I'm 2 tenths off what is, and he's not an idiot. And you know that he's in the thing.
He's done a bit.
He's done a bit. You know that he's a sort of bloke. He can go faster, but he's understanding things, because you don't do what he's done if you don't be methodical about things. I think you need to think about it a little bit more. Like, I've tried changing my riding style for BSB. And we've got a good bike. Don't get me wrong. We've got a good team, good bike, and everything around me. I'm not on the best bike. You know, and I know that, you probably know that. Well, I'm riding the old bike that the weekend I did, but it's not a bad bike. My bike is capable of being there by all means. But I feel like I've got more to come from myself at that. But it's just, you just do a bit of this for that. And you're like, I did my first season last year, and it didn't go to plan as I'd like it to be fair. So I've done a lot of training through winter, and I went to the weekend, did my fastest ever time by over a second round there, and I didn't feel like I were a million mile away. And then, obviously, now I've got no fingertips and some idiot question.
So, that's not going to affect you, is it?
I don't even really think about it.
Right.
My question was going to be, obviously, with riding the British Championship was...
I had to get some larger gloves because I'm normally a medium. That's why we're a little bit late.
That looks dead funny when he holds his fingers up like that. My question was going to be, is there a massive difference between your BSB bike and your Isle of Man TT racing bike?
There's loads of little things that make the big thing. Like I've said before, little things are stronger, different bracket, enough to make the bike do 6 laps. Because if you went and got a World Superbike and set off down Braille, it'd fall to pieces. Because not that it's bad, it's just not designed to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are a bit, and obviously my TT bike is the latest Kawasaki. So, and I do like the Kawasaki's. Every TT win I've had on a Kawasaki, I think I've got a reasonable relationship with them. It'd be nice to win on or try another bike at some point, but it's the way sort of you get channeled through your racing journey, don't you?
Well, yeah, you're doing all right on it.
Yeah, exactly. No, the bike's good. No, the bike's brilliant. I'm looking forward to Alton Park, to be fair. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm still pissed off about my fingers. It's fucking fuming. Sorry, I'm fuming. That's really annoyed me.
Hey, it could be worse though. It could be a broken bone.
Oh, mate, I don't know. I didn't break a bone. Jesus Christ. But
It's a big one.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I could have done without it, put it that way.
So, in terms of like your TT bike, like Steve said, are you fabricating because you are an engineer?
No,
by trade. You're not doing anything yourself.
No, don't get involved.
You can't get someone else.
You can't get blamed then, can you?
I suppose so. Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
So let's talk 2015, because in 2015, on my notes here,
Yeah.
a blip in your progress. I mean, I'd take, what was it, 11th in the senior, I think? I'd take that any day of the week. But considering where you'd come from, your podiums and your race win, would you consider it a tough year, crap year? How was it?
Yeah, no, the first Yamaha, the first year the R1 came out, wasn't it? And Michael Dunlop doing what he did spoke for itself, didn't it, really? I did 130 mile an hour, I suppose, which wasn't too bad. The bike's potential, I think, were massive, as it's proven that now, because it hasn't exactly changed a massive amount over the last few years. It just like I said before, you need the people around the bike to make the bike work.
Yeah.
And with the bike being so new, everything was happening so slow. And there were a lot of mechanical problems with the bike that hadn't been sort of resolved before getting there, that were sort of became apparent later on in the season with other teams and things like that, and it just sort of kept holding us back with lack of practice time and loads of little things like that, really. So just bad year, I suppose, but it's one of them you got to take it on the chin. Not every year's going to be a good one. It's just, that's the racing where racing goes, isn't it?
But then on to 2016, you move into silicone.
Yeah.
And you've been there ever since, and you found your kind of niche, I guess, with the people around you. You've got everyone you need around you working towards the same goal.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know, I'm lucky. I can't deny it. I've probably been in such a lucky predicament to get into the silicone team, and they asked me to ride for them in 2016, which I have, and I've been there ever since. Which I'm almost like part of the furniture now, I suppose. I'm there for the...
So for 22, is it purely a name change for the team?
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's
Everything's the same, just a different name.
Yeah,
that's it. It's the only difference. Yeah, same owners, manager, people working on the bike. Almost, it's just
a different sponsor.
Yeah.
So you're looking forward to 2022 then?
Yeah, no, everything we're going well at the weekend, apart from we crash, and then look forward to tomorrow at Alton Park. I look forward to next weekend. I'm good to go. I'm just take it all in my stride.
I was going to ask you if you're nervous, if you're starting to just. The cogs are starting to tick.
Comes and goes.
We're getting closer.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
So you do get nervous?
Yeah, you do.
So you are human?
I think so, yeah. Last time
how soon before the Isle of Man TT races does it start to... The pennies start to drop and you start to think about going down Bray Hill?
Probably January. Yeah, it does, yeah. No, you do all the time. I think
and is
racing...
that second part of that question, is that worse now you're obviously your reigning senior winner?
Yeah, people do try and put a bit of pressure on you, but I try and ignore it. I just think, what will be, will be. I'm still going to try my best with the bike I've got. Mm-hmm. So whether I've got pressure on me or I don't, if I'm still going to do my best, what difference is it going to make? So you just think, yeah, whatever. Do you know, I need to be like that almost, because in last place you wanted pressure is the Isle of Man. But yeah, no, I do get nervous. But I think you get different nerves at short circuit racing and road racing. Mm-hmm. It's a different sort of nerve. I say this all the time. I think the short circuit nerves, it's almost like you get nervous of the fear of failure.
Right.
Whereas you go road racing, you get like nervous for the fear of death. Because, you know, you see, I've lost a lot of friends over we're doing Irish road racing, but road racing all the time.
Yeah.
You're almost in it, and I've lost a lot of good friends. Mm-hmm. And you almost accept it, don't you? It's just part of, not the job, sort of, it's part of, it is what happens, whether it's look at bloody Super Sport 300 racing in the last few years. It's tragic, but it's you almost take it on the chin. So, but obviously it's more apparent in road racing. So you do get nervous for that. Whereas at short circuit, no, it's not the same nerves.
Now, a lot of people say, and I've heard various people say in interviews, if you're thinking like you've just said there, you're thinking about, ultimately you could die at this place.
But if you're not, you're an idiot, aren't you?
Yeah, I know, but people would say on the interview, as soon as you start thinking like that, you've kind of lost a race or you should give it up. But
mate, how can you not see it? If you go to the Isle of Man, right, and in your head you don't see the dangers, mate, you shouldn't even be going.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
How can you not see the dangers before you get there? It's just silly, isn't it? It's like signing up to go in the army, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going in the army, you're going to go to war, if in theory. Do you know what I mean?
Are gonna be shooting
Massive
bullets at
respect for them, don't get me wrong. But you know that before you go, don't you? Do you know what I mean? You know you're not going to go there and, I don't know, scratch back. I don't know. It's one of them, I don't know.
But do you think about that on the bike? And I suppose I should
not
actually
really,
as well
no.
From my career, obviously I was a lot smoother and silkier than Dean
No doubt.
as a rider.
I can already see that.
But no, but I think you always think it's going to be somebody else to a certain degree, and it's
Right.
That's what keeps you going.
You probably don't even think that, in all fairness, subconsciously.
Yeah.
It's always going to be somebody else and not you, And see, I can't be doing with all that handshaking before you go off and start and stuff. It's just because you're coming back,
Yeah.
in your own mindset.
Yeah, that's it.
But like you say, it's an apparent danger of the course.
But
But
everyone knows
It's
that,
the
don't they?
negative of the sport.
Yeah.
But here's the
Yeah,
thing:
it's, yeah.
if you knew if there was plenty of runoff and there was very little dangers to it, would you enjoy it as much as you do?
No, but it wouldn't be TT then, would it?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
you can't. It's hard. You can't envisage that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 'Cause people say that all. A lot of people said that to me, and I says, well, it wouldn't be a road race, would it?
Yeah. So talking of that, again, I think I've heard you say this, and a few people have said it before in the past. You only ride the TT at 90%.
That's like a lot of shit.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the answer
That's a
to
lot of
that.
shit. Because somebody just do 95 and win all the time. Everyone tries the best with what they've got on the day.
Yeah. But watching you, what I'm saying is watching you, and we've seen those famous slow-mos of you when the bike's just out of shape. You're not riding at 90%. You're not riding
No,
at 95%.
nobody's. I don't care. Steve won't ride. None of us are riding 90%. Everyone tries the best on the day, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if your best ain't good enough, you're going to finish second. Or maybe third, fourth, fifth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you need everyone, don't you? Whether you're the man at the back or the man at the front. I've got the same respect for the man at the back at the front because you're still having a go.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm riding to the best of your capability, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what people don't realise in racing. It's like whether it's BSB, road race, anything. Without the other people on the grid, there's no race.
Yeah.
You need that spread of people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And I respect every and each one of them.
Yeah, like you
because
say,
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there and finished 20th and all these places in various races, and you think, and then next in a year's time, 2 years' time, oh, you're 10th now. But then now I've gained more respect because I'm 10th.
Yeah.
Well, what happened 2 years ago when I was 20th when no one cared? But you're still trying just as hard with what you've got.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that I don't know. I think in the TT, everybody respects what the riders do, whether they're getting paid for it at the front or they're at the back and they're just having a go. I think it's.
I think your hardcore fan base, 100% they do, yeah. Of course they do.
There's more respect, I think, at the road racing for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There are some people, I think, riding at 90-95% because, like we're talking about safety, I think if something's not quite right, you ride to the level of what you're riding as well to a certain degree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You won't ride through it almost.
Yeah, but if everything's tipped up and you're confident and you're feeling good,
You're on the
like the
pipe.
boys at the front, then you're on it.
So let's talk TT. We've got to talk 2018. One of the biggest, best races ever. How was it to be involved in that?
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it, really? It's always been revolved. Never going to be taken away, I suppose, the race. But no, yeah, nice for me, I suppose. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but...
Did you know you were? I don't want to say making history, but did you know that it was what it was while you were in it?
Nah, you don't realise, do you?
You were just
you're
bang.
engrossed in your race and you got your head down, you're racing through, and that's it, really. Yeah.
Did you feel at any point that you could have won it, or did you know that where Hickey was faster, that you just couldn't step up to that mark?
You never know. He got back markers in places. I got back markers in places. Like in one of my sectors, I lost 4 seconds from one of my slowest sectors in one sector.
Yeah.
But you can't be mad at the back marker, can you? Because it might be his first time. Then he's learning where he's going.
Yeah.
I've been there and done that, so you can't be an hypocrite.
Yeah, you just have to accept.
Accept it and move on.
That's
don't
part of the race.
Yeah, we're here to fight another day, and we'll keep going.
Well, then 2019.
Yeah, you
stepped
won
up
again. Yeah,
you
exactly.
won.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Outright pace wasn't there in 19. But well, then again, the weather wasn't the best. Still 134s, I suppose. So pace were good, but he just have another go this year.
So what do you think for this year?
No, the bike's good. I'm hoping the new bike now will be a bit better. But the BMW, I think, was it 2 generations on, or the Kawasaki's 1 generation? I don't. It's been that many 3 years since we've been there, haven't we?
Well, yeah.
We need to I need to go learn the track. And I went round there 2 weeks ago, and I thought I'll do some laps, but I couldn't because the track was shut. You know what I mean? They were surfacing there. So I'm back over again Friday to the Isle of Man. So hopefully I might get a lap in.
So what do you think about the hiatus of it? Do you think everyone's going to go there? Because we spoke to Hickey on one of the earlier podcasts. He says everyone's going to be there. They're going to be on the pipe from night one. Do you think that that's going to be the case, or do you think it's just going to take a few?
No, I hope people aren't really. I hope people sort of take it in the stride and be a bit patient with it. Yeah, honestly, you don't realize road racing's dangerous. You need to just build up to it, whether you're at the front or the back. Because, like I say, if you're still trying your best, you're trying your best at the pace you're at. So I'm hoping people will go there and they'll have a lot of respect for the place and they'll just take it in the stride a bit, learn where the new tarmac is, learn where it's good and bad, and just let it come back to them slowly. You've got a week of practice at the end of the day.
Is that the way you're going to do it?
Yeah, I think that's the way you should do it.
Yeah.
That's what I've always done it.
Two things for you. Obviously, your last lap around there, the classic Tt2019.
Yep.
You had a bit of a clout.
Yeah, I clipped a bank going into Ballig Bridge. Sort of turned on a little 250, and I'm trying to say it was lack of experience in a 250 on my department, to be fair. When I turned a bit, I sort of went in, it was like a bit of a dip, and it sort of went sideways a bit, came back to me, and I just clipped my back on the wall and just broke some ribs, but not ideal.
And the other thing, obviously, for 22,
Yep.
Same bike, same team, or new bike with the same team, same manufacturer, but different tyres.
Yeah, we've switched to Dunlop. I've used them before, though. My first in 2011, 12, I was always on Dunlops. So I've used them before. I've raced, last time I went to Scarborough on them, I raced them there, and we broke that record on them. So
Is that the reason for changing, or what's your main reason?
No, it's sort of a bit of a team thing, really. So let's try something new. And if you look at the results of the top 10 and all the winnings in the last few years, it's always the majority of people on Dunlop. What did you think? You've probably got more experience than me.
Yeah, for me, obviously they've got a massive winning record around the Isle of Man, but so is Michelin.
You can't get any Michelin.
Not proper things, no.
No, I think Michelin are really good tyres. There's no bad tyres, is there really? I don't think any of them are bad.
Exactly. They're all good, and it depends on the individual what they like.
It's what the support you've got.
Yeah.
But it's funny, the Michelin tyre, Jamie Hamilton, he used to use Michelins when he rode for Farquhar, and I know he switched the Dunlop and didn't really make much of a difference. So it proves how good the Michelin tyre was. But the Dunlop's a brilliant tyre. They're all good in their own ways, and I think temperature and weather make a big difference, and how you set your bike up just to try and get the best out of them. I think the Dunlops, for me, when I test them, it's the drive grip that seems to be the biggest sort of step forward of them. The front tyre, I think the Pirelli's a very good front tyre, or the Metzler, whatever you want to call it, same tyre, isn't it? So I just think that could help.
Is there that much of a difference? I mean, I've done a little bit of racing, but you could stick anything on. You could
with an engine.
A little bit, yeah. You could stick anything on a used tyre that's been in the shed for 10 years, and I won't notice the difference between that and a brand new slick. Like when you go, especially at road racing, do you notice the difference?
Oh yeah.
So if I chucked a tyre on blind, could you tell what tyre it is? Or you could tell the difference between two tyres?
You could tell if you had a set of Pirellis in you.
Really?
You'd be moving you.
All right.
You'd definitely be moving.
Very, very different. Very different. All the manufacturers, really, they're different.
Yeah, they turn differently.
It's just rubber, isn't
Some
it?
of them are more nervous. No, they're all different profiles.
Right.
There's loads of little different things that are different on them. Some of them are more nervous than others. Some of them take a bit longer to come to than others.
Some last longer. Some.
Yeah. Some will give grip. Like what happened with a Dunlop. They don't get affected if you have a heat cycle through them, for example. Nowhere near as much. You could come in and go back out, and the tyre will still be as consistent as it was the first time you went out.
If it heats up, cools down, and then heats back up again,
yeah, exactly.
It can affect different tyres.
Other manufacturers, if you go out and you bang 6 laps in a tyre, come in, then go back out, it's at its best.
You're going to know about it.
And that's it. Yeah, you do, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hugely different, yeah. Yep.
Blooming heck. So let's talk predictions for TT 2022. There's one trophy missing from your trophy cabinet.
What's that? Sidecar? Not riding.
Sorry, 2. A Superstock win.
All right, yeah.
Does that play in your mind? Do you think I want to go there and win that, or?
Yeah, it'd be lovely to win the Superstock race. I've been second a few times, and the new ZX10 is really good. I rode the new stock bike at Snetterton last week, or a few weeks ago, And compared to the 19 bike, the one that I rode last, is a massive step forward. Just on power delivery, RPMs higher. It was just general, all in all, a nicer bike to ride. So I'm actually looking forward to riding that. It was easier to ride as well. And 1000cc bikes are hard at the best of times, but no, it was lovely. So yeah.
But there's no monkey on your back thinking, I've got all these wins. I want this one.
No, you can't want, and you don't want and need are two different things, aren't they?
Just tell us the difference between the two. Obviously, it's the same bike predominantly, but the Superstock's more of a road bike. What's the difference in
compared to my Superbike?
riding it around the TT course?
Well, you've gone from kit to Motec. You know the difference in that. That's quite in the raw power aspect of
electronics.
Things. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. No electronics.
Tell me there, Dean. What is the difference in those electronics?
Well, your stock has got traction, anti-wheeling, all them sort of things. But it's fair. I turn it all off. I turn all of it off. I don't really run any electronics.
Really?
Even my Superbike, you're not allowed electronics, obviously, because I run BSB spec. So I just run nothing. Just have it on your hand, and you just ride your bike. But it's like obviously the tyres, I think, are the biggest thing at the minute. The thing with your Superbike, you've got a 125 front and a 200 rear. But the treads are all 120 fronts, and the rear's slightly a narrower track, regardless if it's a Dunlop or a Pirelli. And it just makes the bike so much more nimble on a stock bike.
Yeah.
Therefore, it just makes it easier to ride. Direction changes are easier.
Yeah.
Do you know, just there's loads of little things that just make life easier. The power's softer, the throttle opening slightly softer, so it takes less out of you as a rider. There's things like that. Your brakes aren't quite as good. Still good, but they're not quite on point, so you don't have as much braking force into a corner.
Yeah.
There's things like that. There's loads of little things that add up at the end of it to a big thing.
So how physically demanding is the TT? We've spoke about it a few times to a couple of riders, but we've not really touched on it with everyone. How physically demanding is it to do
more
6
mentally.
laps? Really?
Yeah, you get mentally. It's mentally, and don't get me wrong. It's by all means not easy. It's physically, massively physically demanding, but a lot of it is mentally demanding because you concentrate for so long. I find, but that's it. Yeah.
Concentrating so hard for such a long time without to keep yourself safe as well as to be fast and try and win. It's to keep you safe as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's like that physical difference between riding a lightweight bike. You're not getting off it physically tired. Is it still as mentally challenging to do that, or
definitely? Even in a 600, you concentrate to get the. For example, you ride so hard. I've done 129 on my 600, and to do fast speeds in a 600, you've got to ride it so hard just to get the point to point. And you're looking always next bit, and you're try to think ahead of the game all the time, and that's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Physically wise, the 600 is easier to ride. It's lighter, it's easy, it's not as fast. You get more rest time down the straights. But mentally wise, it's just as hard because you're trying to get every last little bit out of it.
So in terms of like mentality with the Superbike and Superstock, it's not because it's a fast bike and it's terrifying you. It's just because you're thinking this point, that point, here, there.
Yeah, but each bike's slightly different, basically. Yeah, and the Superbike, obviously the Superbike's the quickest bike out there, and the power's a bit more aggressive and it moves around maybe. No, the Stocker moves around quite a bit, to be fair, because it's a bit softer and yeah.
Stocker's easier physically to ride and more to change direction, especially at speed.
That's what I mean, like tyre sizes.
Keeping the throttle open.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in tyre sizes?
It's like smaller on the stock bike, so it makes it more nimble. Therefore, it's easier to change direction.
Amazing. So then sidecars after that, right? Yeah. You go in sidecar 20. Is this an exclusive 2023?
No, it won't be 23. I won't say if
so.
And
Is
when,
this going to be? Obviously, you got to win a Superstock race for
that'd be nice
for Chris and I this year.
Yeah.
But then after that, you're gonna jump on board one of your dad's old sidecars, one of Conrad's old wagons, and with your brother, and outdo the Birchells.
No, I don't have my brother on soundboard.
You don't trust him?
No, I don't want to kill us both.
Hey, Steve's pretty handy.
He'd be a good passenger size, to be fair. Have you ever passenger? I have. I did it
I did a lap with Ben round the TT. Yeah. Not at full chat, not at race back.
Yeah, but
fast lap. Fast, no.
But it's harder than you think.
I'll bet.
I was drained. Obviously, they do 3 laps without stopping.
Yeah.
I was drained after 1 lap. Probably because I was nervous and hanging on
too tight.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I did when I rode. It's like, mate, honestly, it's harder than you think. But it's technique. It's about technique, when to move and things like that. But no, I don't want a passenger, but driving it I would. But never say never. I'm not saying I'm definitely good or I'm definitely not, but it'd be nice.
Here's a question for you, a bit of trivia. Has anyone ever won every single race of the TT?
No.
Solos, Uchi.
But then gone on to cycle.
No.
Even over spread over, X amount of years. Has anyone ever gone sidecars, won that, gone to two wheels, won everything there?
Yeah, there will a bit. I know Dave Saville, he might have won the Manx though.
I think that was the Manx, Saville,
I think Saville won the Manx, didn't he?
That's a good question. I can't answer that.
Do you know what? There's some TT buff right now going, yes.
Yeah, there will be.
One man, Phil Wayne, he will be.
Yeah, he will know.
He'll be
Phil,
jumping up and down. Yeah. He does a lot of the prep for us, actually. But yeah, good guy, and he will know, and he'll be shouting.
Shall we wrap it up, Steve?
Yep, right. I've got 10 quickfire questions for you.
Yep, sorry.
Now, pretty much the answer for these is one or the other. Nothing else. There's no explanation, nothing. Okay.
Fire
so,
away.
Lager or bitter?
Bitter.
Pineapple or no pineapple on a pizza?
Pineapple.
Good lad. Super stock or super bike?
Superbike.
Another senior TT win or a super stock win?
Senior TT win.
Trials or enduro?
Enduro.
Bradford or Isle of Man?
That's such an open question though. To live there or to what there?
One or the other.
Isle of Man.
TT pillion ride with Lee Johnston or Pete Hickman?
Lee Johnson.
Glen Helen to Ballaugh or Ginger Hall to Ramsey?
Ginger Hall to Ramsey.
Superbike or a sidecar TT win?
Superbike. Getting
married or the outright TT lap record?
The outright TT lap record.
Get in there.
Well, he's not getting married now anyway, is he? After that. Dean, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Hopefully we'll be buying that pint in Douglas when you take that Superstock win. We're only literally a few days away now from the TT, so best of luck.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Good luck, mate.
Cheers, thanks.
This has been episode 11 of the TT podcast. If you've enjoyed it, then please hit that subscribe button and leave us a rating and a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. But that's it for now. It's been a long 3 years, but the Isle of Man TT races return this weekend with first qualifying scheduled for Sunday the 29th of May. I cannot wait. There will be a short break from these interviews while TT 2022 takes place, but we have big plans for the fortnight, so keep your eyes peeled to the podcast feed for an announcement on that soon. Until then, don't forget that you can check out all the latest TT news and features over at iomttraces.com. And be sure to check us out on all the usual socials. We are at TT Races Official. Thanks for listening. Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, buddy.